to begin, I am taking that pausing breath, as I cannot tell you what a pleasure and privilege it is to come to this time where I get to say a grand rising for the month of June, beautiful people. I am Vicki Jeter, your Reverend and Minister for Louisville Center for Spiritual Living Teaching Chapter. And we come to a new month and a new theme of holy boldness. And I have to tell you, our morning has been filled with so much boldness that it can't even be measured, which actually that's why even introducing myself came out a little choppy. There is just a lot of energy rolling right now, and I am knowing it is good and very good, because I can assure you that there are a number of ways that we will be having fun with this topic, and we will be invited to pivot our perspectives and stretch our flexibility. I know our special guest speaker this morning, Dr. Tracy Brown, welcome Dr. Tracy, is going to encourage us to do that stretching with sacred audacity. And when I saw that topic, she and I were just starting to figure out if this was going to work. And I thought, oh my goodness, I'm so glad she gets to do this one. It makes me smile just to say it. And so I will tell you more about Dr. Tracy when it's time to introduce her. So Vernon, if you could give us our first slide, please. Now, as I am sure many of you are also aware, June is Pride Month too. And so these two things together immediately spoke to me of taking personal pride in who we are authentically, boldly. Every being comes into the world with a divine pattern that is seeking fulfillment as an expression of spirit. There is no need to excuse or explain how we are, what we are, or who we are to anyone. We're each here on a journey learning the fulfillment of that pattern that we were born with out of spirit. And most especially, we're learning on the journey how to do that in relationship with other people and other beings that share earth with us. And in my experience, that's where things get interesting, is how do we take all this authenticity and find the places where it blends in a way that is harmonious. And so if you have found this challenging, and certainly if you've been challenged, if you've been pressured or bullied about being who you are or not being who you are, or however that has happened for you, this is an opportunity to take your experiences, your pain, your confusion, and your questions into prayer with us, and allow Dr. Tracy's message and this service to be of support to you in your experience. So all of this, we move into opening prayer, and we begin by setting our intentions. So take a moment, check in, and see just for yourself what brought you to be with us today. And as we settle in individually into that secret place of the Most High and make that connection, paying attention to our intention, thus we have done that collectively. And we say, there is one life, one love, one infinite presence of all that is. And as it is the all that is all, it is all I am. And as it is all I am, it is all of everyone within the sound of my voice, everyone that populates planet Earth. And that all in this moment is speaking this word and speaking the word of Dr. Tracy today, as I know that she is a divine vessel, a gift on this planet. And today we are here giving and receiving at a level and in a way that is a pivot, that is a stretch. And I say, thank you, thank you, thank you, God, for the opportunity, knowing it is fulfilled. I release it into the law. I let it be, and so it is. And with that, we do so welcome you to Louisville Center for Spiritual Living Teaching Chapter. And we welcome your questions. We welcome all paths to God. We welcome where you've come from and where you're going. And if you're with us for the first time today or watching us on Zoom, we want you to know that you are why we are here. In addition to our entire community, of course, thank you, thank you, thank you for being with us today. And this brings us to our opening song, which is just awesome. It is called Yes, Yes, Yes by Eddie Watkins Jr.
Oh, yeah. If it could be that we agree to live in harmony and set aside all that divides for the sake of humanity, would you say yes? Yes, yes, yes. If it could be that we agree to meet on common ground, plant a tree and spread the fruit of love all around, would you say yes? Yes, yes, yes. Come on, everybody, sing with me. Yes, yes, yes. Yes, yes, yes. If you believe in you and me, sing yes, yes, yes. If you believe like I believe, we can make a better world. Listen to each other till every voice is heard. Singing yes, 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 yes. What good to say if we found a way to end all poverty? So forward, live with dignity from sea to shining sea. Oh, will you say yes? Come on, everybody, sing with me. Yes, yes, yes. Woo, yes, yes, yes. If you believe in you and me, sing yes, yes. Ooh, come on, everybody, sing with me. Yes, yes, yes. Woo, yes, 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 yes. If you believe in you and me, sing yes, yes.
Oh my goodness, that is so much fun. Thank you for introducing us to that, Dr. Tracy. This takes us directly into our mission and vision. The mission of Louisville Center for Spiritual Living Teaching Chapter is to teach personal transformation as a virtual community, living the principles of science of mind and celebrating all paths to God, which manifests our vision of a world that honors and respects all people. Of course, we realize that all of this is only so good as actually changes your life. And we have to put the fourth tire on the pavement. And so each week we have an application of what we believe. And this week, our application of what we believe is the audacity to proclaim freedom via rest in the now. Rest has been revolutionary for my soul. That's a little inside out of what we kind of think of holy boldness, right? But in our world today, are you kidding? I mean, I found that, I looked at it and I thought, do I get that? But then I realized, oh my God, how many people need audacity to say, you know what? I'm putting out the do not disturb sign. I'm sorry, but I am not available. Thank you, God. So I encourage you to really embrace that as boldness. And this takes us to our practitioner of the week, Miss Tammy Evans.
Good morning. Wow, that was an amazing song from Eddie Walks. It's got me moving. So today's reading is quotes from multiple people taken from spiritual passages. Every person represents an individualization of the universal wholeness, the peace, the love, peace, joy, and freedom of the spirit. Therefore, we have a divine right to rise above fear, impoverishment, and disease. We should have confidence that the power of spirit expresses through every atom of our being now in this moment. We must have the audacity to turn up the frequency of our truths. Transformation gives us the audacity to advance along a road of unknowing. Whatever you can do or dream, you can begin it. In boldness, there is genius, power, and magic. Do not be too timid and squeamish about your actions. All life is an experiment. The more experience you make, the better. Freedom lies in being bold. Today's life, the only life you are sure of. Make the most of today. Get interested in something. Shake yourself awake. Let the winds of enthusiasm sweep through you. Live today with gusto and make a way out of no way. Now, please join me in today's meditation. Make sure you're comfortable in your seat, feet on the floor. Take a couple of deep breaths. And if it's comfortable for you, close your eyes. I am bold, courageous, and brave. I have permission from spirit within me to live creatively through the unique nature created just for me. I turn my fear into courage. There is a power for good in the universe, and I use it. It radiates through me, as me, and in me. I am still, and I know. My faith grows as I overcome any doubt. I recognize what sings to my heart and brings me joy. I pay attention to what brings harm to other people, and I change my awareness to a world that works for all. Connected with spirit that knows what to do and when to do it, I surrender. One step at a time, I create sacred audacity within me. I let go of any fear and focus on faith. Spirit is the wind beneath my wings. Take some time today to realize what is calling your soul. What is yours to do to answer that call? And now just take some time. Move your fingers and toes. And when you're ready, open your eyes. A beautifully bold, courageous, and brave day awaits you. Namaste. Now please join us as we enjoy In the Land of I Am by Jennifer Burnett with the Mile High Choir.
In the land of I am more than I have been. I am more than I will be. I am all that I am. In the land of I am more than I have been. I am all that I will be. I am all that I am. In the land of I am more than I have been. I am all that I will be. I am all that I am. Dreams of all my great grandfathers, and a way to rise beyond live in thee. In the land of I am all that I have been. I am all that I will be. I am all that I am. In the land of I am all that I have been. I am all that I will be. I am all that I am. In the land of I am all that I have been. I am all that I will be. I am all that I am. In the land of I am all that I have been. I am all that I will be. I am all that I am. In the smiles of all the unborn children and the dreams of a brighter day to come, and the dance of heaven with the earth, all live, all live, all live in thee. In the land of I am all that I have been. I am all that I will be. I am all that I am. In the land of I am all that I have been. I am all that I will be. I am all that I am. In the land of I am all that I have been. I am all that I will be. I am all that I am. In the land of I am all that I have been. I am all that I will be. I am all that I am. That God and disgraced, abused and displaced, been robbed and disgraced, abused and misplaced, been lied to, but lies can be seen through in the land. You can't fall from grace in the land. You cannot be heard in the land. There's more than enough in the land. You're always at home, always at home, always at home, always at home, always at home. In the land of I am, all that I have been, I am all that I will be, I am all that I am.
In the land of I am more than I have been, I am more than I will be, I am all that I am. The theme for 2024 Centers for Spiritual Living is a grand rising. The theme for June, holy boldness. And the theme for today, sacred audacity. And this gives me the opening to introduce Miss Dr. Tracy Brown. Tracy Brown has used universal spiritual principles as a guide for her life for more than 35 years. She says her motto, you always have a choice. And she believes learning spiritual principle is useless unless you don't live it. Or that's not the way she said it, that's the way I said it. Anyway, you have to apply it. You may be familiar with Dr. Tracy if you ever caught the Poetry, Prayer, and Practice on the New Thought Media Network, where she is part of a team that produces that on Saturdays in the Science of Mind Conversation series. Or maybe you might have heard from her as a former chair of the Leadership Council for Centers for Spiritual Living Worldwide, and she has been the recipient, and this is where the doctor comes from, of the Ernest Holmes Award and an honorary doctorate degree from Centers for Spiritual Living. Now, what you may not know about Dr. Tracy is that she has authored more than 12 books, including Stained Glass Spirit, Creating Spiritual Communities, where oneness does not require sameness, love that title, and I Turn to Prayer. She is the moderator for a Facebook group of more than 7,000 people who are focused on interrupting and ending racism and all the other trappings that go with it. And finally, if you really know Dr. Tracy, she would tell you that she is a serious roller skater. And with that, I turn it over to you, Tracy.
Thank you, thank you. Welcome. Hello, everybody. Oh, I just have to do exactly what Reverend Vicky did. Like, I am vibrating in the concept of in the land of I am more than I have been. I am more than I will be. I am all that I am. Can you feel that vibration? Am I the only one? I didn't I don't see anybody in the chat saying, yeah, me too. In the land that I am all that I am. And in this teaching, the science of mind, we know that principle is not bound by precedent. God is not limited by what happened in the past. God does not decide what happens in the future based on random things. Spirit is spirit, infinite intelligence, wisdom, love, joy, peace, order, always. With every breath each one of us takes, what if we decided to live in the land of I am? Because I am not just what I have been, I am not just the dreams I have for my future. What if you join me in believing I am that I am this entire month? That's what we get to think about, talk about, and transform into. Can I be that bold? Are you willing to be that bold? That is some holy boldness. Bold enough to be all that I am as an expression of divine love and divine light. Yes, that's what I want. That's the intention I am setting. And I hope that you are willing to set that intention as well. So that's kind of the foundation for me that got me thinking about what does it mean to say sacred audacity? Sacred audacity. I think commonly when we hear the word audacity, if you think anything like me, you assume someone who has audacity might be coming across as rude, or someone who is acting with audacity might be a little over the top, and I want to be this cool, calm, spiritual, quiet, peaceful person. Or someone who is acting with audacity, we sometimes confuse it as, oh, they're being arrogant or they're being selfish. But in reality, if we go to the dictionary and we go to the internet, what we would find is the actual definition of audacity is being bold. And sometimes in our behavior, that might look like we're being arrogant with disregard for personal safety or for the experience that other people are having. But audacity is not a bad thing. Audacity is required if we are going to live into the theme of holy boldness. Boldness requires audacity. So what is sacred audacity? Well, I asked myself this question and now I'm asking you. Are you willing to be a bold example of the sacred? Are you willing to be a visible and vocal advocate for the principles we teach in Science of Mind? Are you willing to boldly proclaim our spiritual teaching and understand the philosophy of it and then step into living it as a way of life? That requires sacred audacity. What if we have the audacity to live a better life? So first, what if we have the audacity to change our individual lives? Oh, wait, isn't that what we do? Don't we talk about that all the time? We use our spiritual principles to transform our individual lives into a life that we love and that works for us. But Ernest Holmes did not write Science of Mind as just a personal, individual outcome philosophy. Throughout the textbook, he reminds us that our individual experience and thoughts are contributing into the collective, He writes that we are a collective race consciousness, human race consciousness, by what we do and what we say. So, yes, first, what if we had the audacity to change our individual lives? What would you change? What would you shift? What would you improve about your life? And most of you already know how to do that, how to take spiritual principle and use it in your individual life to make different choices and to set new intentions and see them actually manifest. So, question number 2 is, what if we had the audacity as students and practitioners of science of mind? What if we had the audacity to heal the isms and the inequities in the world, just like we heal the pain in our body, or we heal from a disease or a divorce or some disaster in our personal lives? What if? What if? And I'm not like really, like, I'm not pointing my finger and saying you should. I'm really just asking the question, what if? Are you willing to have the audacity to heal the isms and inequities in the world using the same principles and the same practices that you use to heal the upsets and the discord in your individual life? And yeah, I'm curious enough to ask if you are willing to even entertain this idea. I need to see some hearts on the screen or some yes, I'm in the chat. Like, talk to me, even though you can't talk to me. That's the advantage of being right here online, where we can use the technology to actually have some exchange so I can feel your energy. I want to know there's at least 1 or 2 people who are on track with me, and the rest of you are maybe, going, this woman is crazy. What did I come here today for? Like, oh, I don't know about her. Think about the Eddie Watkins song that you heard a few minutes ago. There's a line in it where he says, if you believe in you and me, would you say yes? Yes, I say yes. It's no coincidence that we're having this conversation in the month of June. Juneteenth is coming up. And what if we had the sacred audacity to tell the truth about slavery as a part of our history and claim in word and action the spiritual principles of harmony and love? There's no coincidence that we're having this conversation in the month of June. June is Pride Month. What if we had the sacred audacity to say the heteronormative patterns we are used to do not represent the command of love or the spiritual command to love all people as ourselves? There's no separation. We're having this conversation about sacred audacity in the month of June. The presidential election campaigns are beginning to heat up. What if we had the sacred audacity to believe and then demand a nation that operates from the spiritual principle of unity? What if we wanted to do any of these things, we would have to go back to the basics. Many of you probably got connected to science of mind, maybe by the phrase, change your thinking, change your life. And I think sometimes we do a disservice to this idea or concept of change your thinking, change your life, because it makes it seem like it's a one-step process. I'll change my thinking and my life will change. But in reality, it's a multi-step practice. right? In order to change our thinking, our thoughts and our feelings are intertwined. Sometimes we feel something and then think, what does that mean? And sometimes we think things and then we have a feeling, joy or pain. But our feelings and our thoughts knit together and create our beliefs. And our beliefs drive our behavior. And our behavior over time becomes a habit. And then those habits are what actually shape the experience that we call our life. My life is wonderful because I've developed habits that serve me based on the behaviors that I found at work, based on my beliefs that I live in a friendly universe and God is always going to support me, and my thoughts match that. So whether we go from this way or this way, it's a multi-step process. Now listen to this. That multi-step process is going on all the time, and it has always been going on. There is an infinite chain of this thought and life experience. So much of what you think and feel and have accepted, much of what I think and feel and have accepted, we have absorbed from past generations. How you celebrate holidays, what you do when you have the flu, how you express and resolve conflict, your values, what you think about different identity groups. So much of that has been absorbed. And we think, oh yeah, well, I learned things from my parents. Or if you're like me, you observed your parents and chose to do what different things because you didn't want to relive their lives exactly as they lived it, or your teachers, or the people you in your neighborhood, or relatives, or adults that were around you. So much of what we feel and think we have accepted or absorbed from generations past. So much of what we think is normal is actually just intergenerational learning. We've learned it. And a lot of the social scientists say that much of what we do and learn is really a reflection of 7 generations past. And that much of what we choose is going to affect 7 generations going forward. Sometimes our intergenerational learning can be better described as intergenerational trauma. Repeating, sometimes what we know as intergenerational learning can better be described as intergenerational trauma. Ernest Holmes wrote, "The soul of all people merges more or less, and this creates the soul life of the human race, the collective subjectivity of all humanity, called by some the collective unconscious. This collective unconscious contains a record of all human events that have ever transpired. We are all more or less subject to this collective thought, since it acts as a powerful human race suggestion. The sum total of all erroneous human belief binds until the individual mentality lifts itself above the law of averages into the higher law of spiritual individualism." I'll repeat that last sentence. The sum total of all erroneous human belief binds us all until the individual mentality lifts itself above the law of averages into the higher law of spiritual individualism. Do we have the sacred audacity to shift the law of averages into a higher vibration, into a higher law of spiritual collectivism. Do we have that kind of audacity? Can we remember who we are? We are spiritual beings who are here to bring the spiritual truth into our individual lives and into the world. We are spiritual beings here to bring the spiritual truth into our individual lives and into the world. Yes, I'm going to say it one more time. We are spiritual beings, and we are here to bring the spiritual truth into our individual lives and into the world. When Ricky Byers wrote In the Land of I Am, I love the entire song and the message of it. But take a breath and take this in. And the songs of all my great-grandmothers, and the dreams of all my great-grandfathers, and the way to rise above or beyond the pain, all live in me. The songs of my great-grandmothers, the dreams of my great-grandfathers, and the way to rise above any pain that was existing, all of that, the songs, the dreams, and the way to rise all live in me. Now, recently, I had some energy work done to clear a feeling of being stuck on something that I was working on, but I wasn't making progress. And in the course of that, there was some generational trauma that was revealed. And the person I was working with, was asking questions and diagnosing the energy, and was very clear that this particular generational piece was 4 generations back. Now, this is not rocket science, and this is not like secret work. As she said that to me, I immediately remembered something that happened to my dad and my grandparents. My dad, my grandmother had said something that had upset someone. The store owner that was upset got the leaders of the community together and said, we need to teach the Brown family a lesson. That woman got out of her place and basically decided they were going to lynch my grandfather and possibly the 4 sons that they had at that time. There was a wonderful man who lived in the community, and he really liked my grandfather. So he got a message to my grandparents that they needed to be out of town, they needed to disappear before sundown. And they did. And that is the only reason I am here as a descendant of those people today. And I was like, oh, that feeling forced and being forced to move without knowing where you're going and what the outcome's going to be was part of what was getting me stuck. Now, I could tell you a lot more about the story, but that's the part that you need to understand just where I'm going with this. And then it made me think, what about my great-grandparents, the generation before my grandparents? Well, they were, at least some of the 4 of them, were probably children enslaved and then freed. Maybe not all of them, but then their parents were all enslaved, and some of them came directly from Africa, not necessarily, not likely by choice. And that's 4 generations back. It's like I am the 4th generation. Move into your history. So, my story is just my story. It's not a sad story about enslavement. It's not a sad story about lynching, although that is a part of it. It's a story about how all these things happen to the people before you, and they live in you in ways that you are not conscious of. It's intergenerational learning or intergenerational trauma. So think about, this is not just Tracy's history. If you live anywhere on the Western Hemisphere, right? Anywhere on the Western Hemisphere, from mid-Brazil all the way up into Canada, all through the Caribbean, slavery is not just my history. It's in your history too. Take that in. It's not just the enslaved, it's the enslavers. It's not just people who didn't own slaves, but the people who benefited from slavery. So slavery is not some poor, sad sob story for Tracy as a Black woman. It is a part of our collective history. And that means the invisible trauma that comes up for me, even though I have done all of my work decade after decade, there's still intergenerational trauma. And it's in your history too. It's in you too. And if you're not aware of it, guess what? You'll be acting from it. So our collective history, as Ernest Holmes said, it is there. And the law of averages of allowing that collective history is what drives so much of our policy, our practice, the way that our society is. And it's not just about racism. We've got intergenerational trauma related to reflecting as climate change and global warming. We have intergenerational trauma that shows up as poverty and the stories we make up about people and class. We have intergenerational trauma that shows up as homophobia and assumptions we make about who's good and who's not and who we should love. We have intergenerational trauma about almost everything we think is important. My question for you is, how has this pain from generation to generation to generation to generation affected you? Take a breath. Don't run from it. It's all of our history, but with holy boldness. Let's have the sacred audacity to change our world. Now, Reverend Vicki already mentioned this. It may seem a little counterintuitive to say rest is a pathway to resisting. It's not the only pathway. It's one of several pathways on the road to holy boldness. Rest is Resistance is the recommended book for the month, and it is because it has rest has a direct relationship to breaking intergenerational trauma. Get out of automatic, take a breath, and prepare your body and your mind to birth something new. To birth something new, we have to go within and allow the new to go through a gestation period so it's ready to birth into a healthy and strong life. So it's through rest and reflection and recommitment. But for a moment, it's through rest that you can remember who you are and who you came here to be. Stepping away from the treadmill of what you always do every day and going within allows you to remember, I am an expression of spirit incarnate. I am here to be an example of spiritual principle in life for me and for the world. In Sermon by the Sea, Ernest Holmes said, how important is it? Correction. How important it is that each one of us in our own simple way shall live from God, to God, with God, in God, and for each other. That's why we are here, he said. And we are taking back with us from Silmar, we are taking back with us, I trust, a vision and an inspiration, something beyond a hope and a longing, that the living Spirit shall work through us to walk anew into its own creation, and a new glory comes with a new dawn. I don't know about you, but for me, this is enough to inspire me to have the sacred audacity to be an example of holy boldness, of love and harmony and unity in the world in tangible ways. I will accept nothing less. And I hope that you too will look at your individual history, our connected history, and choose sacred audacity. Let's take that into treatment. As I breathe, I remember there is only one life, there is only one source of life, there's only one creator, and it is the example of perfect intelligence and wisdom and love and joy and peace and wholeness. And everything that it has created is created with those same qualities and so many more that represent the perfection of spirit transformed into the human experience. What I know is true for myself and for everyone within the sound of my voice is that now is the time to remember who we are. Now is the time to remember who we came here to be. Now is the time to walk in holy boldness and to do so from a place of sacred audacity. Now is the time. And I'm grateful for this challenge. I am grateful for this inspiration. I am grateful for this opportunity to raise the law of averages to a place where the world is a place and a world that works for all people and all creatures. Yes, I say yes to this intention. And I surrender into the automatic nature of law. I release anything that is out of alignment with this truth and with this commitment so that I can let go and let God show up in every way in my life and in the lives of everyone who is willing to make this their intention as well, and let it be. And I invite you, if this resonates with you in any way, to simply repeat after me. Ashe, Aho, Amen, Amun, Amin. And so it is.
Wow. Thank you, Tracy. My spiritual cup is full. I don't know about y'all, but mine is. So now it is the time for the giving of our gifts. As always, we thank you for all the ways you support Louisville Center for Living. The ways to give are in the chat, along with the P.O. Box, which is P.O. Box 43958, Louisville, Kentucky, 40253. Now, please say the following affirmation with me. With holy boldness, I conduct my abundance and prosperity to new and dazzling heights.
I was so tickled when Spirit brought that through me. To me, it's just fun to say the dazzling part. And so I'm going to sprinkle dazzle over our basket. And I'm going to know that the angels and archangels of prosperity are singing our song and encouraging us, leveraging us into the challenge that Dr. Tracy has offered, which has been simmering within our community. It's just the blessing is an ongoing thing. And so as often we recognize this little basket is a fulcrum point, and the energy comes in and goes right back out and around to bless the community and right back again. And I wanted to, it's been a little while since we've reported to you all who we have donated to. We got a letter of thanks this week from Bernheim Forest. We donated to Bernheim Forest for in honor of Earth Day. And so just to let you know where your gift is going over the top. Thank you, thank you, thank you, Presence of Life, for all of this and more. We release it, we let it be, and so it is. So, are you coming back for announcements, my dear? Okay, there we go.
Thank you. I finally got unmuted. Yeah, so it is time for our announcement. First Wednesday Spiritual Connection. Students of the Art and Science of Spiritual Mind Treatment are presenting their class projects. Merck, Nelville, Ed Jewell, and Kelly Riska on Wednesday, June 5th, 7 p.m. to 8:30 p.m. Eastern on this Zoom.
And I just want to say before we go to the next one, as usual, if anybody who has ever seen class project night, these are awesome. They're creative, they're inspiring, and they will help you to have a model for how to live this teaching. I hope you can all come. It's awesome.
And then our men's group via this Zoom link it's Thursday, 6:30 p.m., June 6th, 2024. And then Vicki, I think you wanted to say something about the next slide.
Thank you, Tammy. So this is our speaker of the week for next week. Sunday, June the 9th is a very special service. We're going to use a recording that comes out of a time when we were brick and mortar. We were at 300 Spring, and the beautiful lady that you see on this slide is Karen Rader, a practitioner, and she is actually has passed away over this last few weeks, actually. And the reason why we're using her recording is in honor of her life and her service. And actually, it's also for her husband as well, is Karen and Richard Rader. And this particular talk is so incredibly awesome because, I mean, really, you talk about the grace of God and how things come together. There are messages in this talk you would think she's actually talking to us today, having had her transition. I just really hope that everyone can come, and anyone that you know that knew Karen and Richard, let them know that we're going to do this. And that's what I have to say about that.
Thank you, Vicki. LCSL's next in-person gathering is at Joan Durbin's Treehouse the weekend of August 3rd and 4th. And I'm hoping to be there, so I'm hoping you all join me. And this is LCSL's unexpected income program. And this is the unexpected incomes that our community has received themselves. And then the next slide is the amount that has been gifted to Louisville Center for Spiritual Living.
And you all may notice that the thermometer hasn't gone up in the past couple of weeks. I don't know if there hasn't been an influx recently. Maybe the tide has gone out a little bit, or maybe some people haven't thought to let me know that you have unexpected income that's been moving. If you let us know during the week, then the tech wizard will bump that thermometer up.
Knowing that abundance for us. So please stay for sharing time after the benediction. And please always remember and don't ever forget that you are magnificent. And now join us for our closing song, You Are the Light by Denise Rozier. Oh, no, I'm writing from thing. Remember who you are, Gary Lynn Floyd.
Remember, you are love at the heart of your being. Do you remember there is more to this life than what you're seeing? Let me remind you, you are beautiful by far. You've nothing left to prove when you remember who you are. If you ever forget, I will help you remember who you are and who you're here to be. Sometimes it's hard to make a way through the dark, but I will see for you and help you remember who you are. Do you remember there is peace in the middle of this storm? Do you remember you have all you need inside to keep you warm? Let me remind you, you're the dust from a star. Your essence is revealed when you remember who you are. If you ever forget, I will help you remember who you are and who you're here to be. Sometimes it's hard to make a way through the dark, but I will see for you and help you remember. You are stronger than you think you are, braver than you seem. The light that lies ahead of you is like nothing you have ever seen. If you ever forget, I will help you remember who you are and who you're here to be. Sometimes it's hard to make a way through the dark, but I will see for you and help you remember. If you ever forget, I will help you remember who you are and who you're here to be. Sometimes it's hard to make a way through the dark, but I will see for you Remember who you are. Remember who you are.
Now, I just invite you all to engage our new benediction for the month. This comes out of the Art and Science of Spiritual Mind Treatment. It is intended as a chant, and I do encourage us to actually say it and go through it 3 times. There is only one life. That life is spirit. That life is perfect. That life is my life now. There is only one life. That life is spirit. That life is perfect. That life is my life now. There is only one life. That life is spirit. That life is perfect. That life is my life now.